What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today we're back to talk about Warhammer 40k. More specific, the previews that they had on today, Saturday. So a few hours ago, the people over at Warhammer Community did a preview via Twitch to showcase new models and just overall things that are going to be coming out for Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40k, Forge World as well. So let's take a look at the reveals. Of course, if you want to take a more in-depth look, I am going to be putting the link to the Warhammer community article down below so you guys can take a look at it yourselves. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So they start off showcasing some models for Forge World, and of course, I think this was even before COVID hit. We knew that the next Primarch to come out for Forge World, not for 40k, is that of the Lion L. Johnson. And I always liked his sculpt. It looks pretty cool. When it comes to Primarchs, I don't know why, or Space Marines in general, but I always prefer the helmeted look than like their actual faces and whatnot. But still, though, the Lion is pretty good, and rules-wise, he is a beast. A few months back, the Warhammer community guys did a tournament of the Primarchs. I also covered it in a video, and Lionel Johnson did really good. Now, of course, they were playing using Forge World rules. Those are very different than 9th edition rules. I believe they're still in 7th edition, if I'm not mistaken, over for Forge World. So if you guys played 7th edition 40k, I want to say it's the same thing. But yeah, Lionel Johnson is definitely a great sculpt, and of course, he's fighting against Night Lords. And speaking of Night Lords, they've got new Night Lord Terminators. These look amazing, and the thing that I really love about Forge World is that you can easily just plop these Terminators and play them as Chaos Space Marine Terminators for Warhammer 40k 9th edition. Easy as that. So if you have a Night Lord's army, boom, you just got yourself 5 awesome looking Terminators that fit the theme, and it's right on time because Terminators will be getting a huge buff going to 3 wounds. And as you can see, one of them, or actually I think they all have freaking flamers. Heavy flamers are also getting a huge buff. Their range is going to 12 inches, so you can teleport these guys, deep strike them into the battlefield, and just flame away the enemy. So that's a pretty good tactic. I'm not exactly sure if Chaos Terminators can have that many flamers in a squad, but still, it's a viable tactic now. But regardless of that, the sculpts are amazing. I just love the way these guys look. They look very brutal. And that's what I love about the Night Lords. You can also see all the like flayed skin used as like loincloths and stuff like that. So yeah, very awesome sculpt. I love it. Moving on over to Necromunda, they have a new house revealed, the House of Iron. And they're basically humans, nothing too crazy here. When it comes to like Necromunda, I feel like their models can easily be used for like guardsmen, somewhat sometimes, but most of all, they're really good for D&D. Like say you're playing a D&D character who uses a freaking hammer or something like that, like a barbarian or whatnot. This guy here would fit pretty well. Not just that, but there's also like cyber mastiffs. Those look really badass, so you could play around with them. I was never interested in Necromunda. Like that type of aesthetic never really appealed to me. But still, pretty cool sculpts for some of the houses on there. And like I said, they work as a good supplement for like D&D and other war games. Jumping over to Warcry, they basically just like announced like a new type of game or like mat set or box set. Which in my opinion is really cool, because if you look at the models in here, oh, they're amazing. When it comes to Age of Sigmar, I really love their sculpts. Warcry is basically a little offshoot of Age of Sigmar, and just the models in here are amazing. Hands down, these could easily be used as Chaos Cultists, D&D miniatures, like you name it. These guys are amazing. It's a shame that we've never really got into Warcry or Age of. I mean, we have played Age of Sigmar a few times, but it's been a while. Um, but yeah, Age of Sigmar is really great when it comes to sculpts. Um, like, look at these guys. I could easily see them being used as like a small Astra Militarum like regiment fighting alongside the salamanders. Like they look really badass. When it comes to Warhammer Underworlds, I'm like, like it's cool, I guess. They revealed a new skink, I believe that's what that thing is, the chameleon dude. Cool, I guess, but like I said, it's not really my cup of tea. So if you guys are more interested in that, again, the link is down in the description below so you guys can read it for yourselves. Going into the actual Age of Sigmar line for Warhammer, they revealed another box set, Shadow and Pain is what it's called, and it features the Hedonites, I believe that's what they're called. It's Slanesh against the Dark Elves, pretty much, or at least their version. In the Age of Sigmar lineup, there is a new model, or new models for the two lines. Nothing too crazy here. Sculpts are cool and whatnot. Artwork is really badass. I do like that. Marathi, that's what they are. They're not really Dark Elves. Well, they are and they aren't. Surprisingly, they fight with an avatar of Cain on their side, which is pretty badass. But yeah. Now we saved the best for last, so let's jump into Warhammer 40k and see what they've got. So they revealed that there is a new crusade book that covers some rules to bring a new narrative element to your games. Crusade, I was really excited for. However, we haven't really dove into the whole Crusade aspect of 9th edition. I feel like we want to get a few more games under our belts to further understand the new edition better before we dive into Crusade. But still, it's something that I'm really like keeping my eye out on. Can't talk, tripping over my words. They also have a new like battle zone map thing. Really cool, very imperially. You've got like I don't even know what to call this, like a manufactorum area you could play in. It's pretty small, so again it'd be more like patrol games, or it'd be good for like Necromunda, D&D. I always gotta come back to that. Or it could be like a supplement for a bigger map. Still, it's pretty cool. I like that they're releasing more actual terrain stuff for 40k. I'm still waiting for more Xeno 40k areas, like the Tau have like the Tide Wall and all that. Like it'd be more interesting to kind of differentiate the playmats with Xeno, like you're on a Xeno homeworld and you're battling on that and whatnot. But finally, we come to the actual centerpiece, I guess, of the 40k section of the article, and that is none other than a new 6-armed, 6-gunned model for the Necrons, which is pretty cool. He is a Hexmark Destroyer. He's essentially a Deathmark who became a Destroyer via the Destroyer Curse, and now he's out for blood. It's really interesting because Destroyers have a lot of new models for the Necrons. You got a Destroyer Lord, the Destroyers with like the scythes, the Heavy Destroyers that were always already good, regular Destroyers, and now you got this Shooty Destroyer. Yeah, you could literally easily play a Destroyer cult on your battlefield, and I'm really liking it. I like the whole 3-legged thing for Destroyers, and for one, I love this sculpt. The amount of guns it has, a little like energy source on its back fueling the guns, is pretty cool. Having 6 weapons though kinda is a little hesitant for me, because at one point he could be really good, like 6 shots that do this much damage, but at the other he might be nerfed because, you know, having 6 shots is a little OP, especially if you could bring more than one in a unit for these guys. But still though, he looks pretty cool. And that's literally it. A little bit of an underwhelming Warhammer preview / reveal this time around. Nothing too crazy, nothing too cool, I feel like, for the most part. The only real new reveals were the or the Necron Death Hex. Was that what it was called? Hexmark Destroyer. There you go. And we got like new models for Warcry and whatnot. So, cool. Let me know your thoughts down below. Were you underwhelmed? Were you overwhelmed? Or were you just whelmed at this preview? Let me know if you're gonna pick up this Necron dude. I mean, if you got the Indominus box set, why not? You already got a shit ton of destroyers. And just wait a few more months. Come October, you're going to get a new codex, and we'll see all the awesome goodness for the Necrons. Can't wait to see the stats for the Silent King, as well as the freaking Catan of the Void Dragon. Oh man, good things are coming for Necron players. We have a Necron player in our group, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be seeing firsthand what the new Necrons can do come this edition. And that's all I got for now. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I'm the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.